It is Monday, July 10th.
At the light, turn left onto West
I'm on my
Broadway.
way to a ductless system. Mike had sold a ductless replacement, I guess, for a Fujitsu. We're going to put in a Daikin because that's what we've been putting in lately. Peter's picking up the equipment. It's on a roof. I'm not exactly sure how hard or easy it's going to be. It's supposed to be easy, but we'll see. Hopefully I get some good footage on showing you how
At the next light, turn right.
we put ductless in and hopefully get it done quickly. Okay, here's our indoor unit, and here's our outdoor. Okay, and where is our disconnect? We got a wire going from there to here. Here's our power. Huh. Where is our power wire? Oh. Is this our power wire? Guess we'll have to find out. But little 9,000 unit. Another one right there. Should be straightforward. Okay, so kind of just dodged a bullet. This unit's 115. Shares a circuit with the living room, but an electrician's gonna come and sort that out, bringing us 240. But no pressure in the system. Felt a little bit of a spritz, put my hose on, and as soon as I put my hose on, it like hissed for a second into the hose, and that was it. So that's nice at least. I did also close these off just in case there was some to recover less on the roof. But we're getting started. I disconnected the wiring. We can disconnect our lines. Peter's working on that indoor unit. He's grabbing a step stool, and hopefully it goes smoothly. Okay, got our lines disconnected, and I don't know what they used here. Some weird sealant, looks almost like silicone. And Peter just got that communication wire. We got a new Rector seal bracket to mount it. Our unit's out, our line set's out, and oddly enough, the power wire they ran is the communication wire, and then they used the power wire to communicate. I don't know. But we'll get this unit off. Probably just chuck it on the ground. And we can start working on the new one, which is R32 refrigerant, not R410A. Mildly flammable. It's like a very slight percentage more flammable than 410, so it's not an issue, but there are more procedures that have to be done when you're working on the equipment, and you are supposed to use dedicated tools, and the tools have to be rated to work on that equipment. So we'll get this off here and get to work. Okay, so there's the old bracket. There's our unit. Super light. But take this bracket off the wall and mount this one. Okay, so our new bracket is on the wall, nice and level. And I'm currently working on the indoor bracket right up there. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to drill a new hole, and we'll cover the old one with the line set covers, and that should work out fine. Okay, so here's the bracket, and there is wood directly behind this. So got 2 screws here, 2 screws here, just to keep that bottom clip close to the wall so the unit sits flush. And then the top screws, which are really supporting most of the weight. And then one in the center, just to keep everything solid. Make sure it's nice and level, because the condensate pan internally is pitched a little bit. And then this hole, if you look at it, you could see I pitched it downwards. I drilled the hole on the other layer. Peter, stop! You're good. I drilled the other hole a little bit below this one so that the condensate drain can go pitch down. So Peter's gonna feed the wire through now, and we will hook it up. Okay, so I have the line set here straightened out. It's going to be going straight through that hole, and the condensate drain on the bottom, when the unit's mounted, this will be the bottom. That way it drains properly. And I also always use this little felt roll that they give, that I know a lot of people just throw in the garbage, because it's supposed to protect against any condensation dripping and damaging the wall. So I make sure to wrap that nice and tight, at least up to where it's going to go through in the wall. And then just keep going till it's run out. And it also helps to get the lines through the wall when this is wrapped super tightly like that. And now we're fishing that wire through this hole, which sometimes can be a little tricky, but Peter's gonna pull it and then tie a knot in it so that we can hook it up afterwards. And I'm gonna tighten this up with a little bit of electric tape just to keep it all covered. Okay. So I have this end taped up now, so it goes through the hole easier. And we'll grab the unit. And we push that wire through. I got it. And the top will latch. And once the top is latched, push the bottom in on these clips to really secure it. And that's not moving, so there's the indoor unit mounted, and now we'll connect to our lines right there and then to the outdoor unit, which we'll get up here now.
Okay, so Danny thinks he can make it up by himself. I offered help, just as a disclaimer, so we shall see.
Terrified mom.
Be careful. Don't worry about the ladder, just worry about getting it up there. Do you want me to go behind you and push?
Got it. That's hard. And we are perfectly level. So there's our unit. Now we can work on hooking up our line sets and should be good to go. Okay, and there's the line covers, the line set covers, all nice and level with the Milwaukee level. And now we will flare our lines, cut them, and get it connected before it starts to rain. Okay, so just took the flare knot off of the head unit, and we have the NAVAC cordless flaring tool, and Peter just put the 3/8 head on it, and that needs to be put down to where it touches that metal piece right there. nice and snug, and then you slip the machine over it, lock it in place, press the button, and it does the flare for you right in there. And we did deburr the copper afterwards just to make sure that it's a perfect flare after we had cut it. So pop it off, and there is a little bit of smudge on it going around, but it's a very good flare. And underneath the NAVAC is the torque wrench. We will be torquing all of these to specification. And I usually like to use Nylog, but I don't know that it's okay with this refrigerant. So just gonna be using the torque wrench. That'll be good enough. So we'll flare the 1/4 inch and this and get them connected. And an important thing to do is to make sure that you're lining up your flare perfectly straight, and then you should be able to just get it on and hand tighten it without any issues. And once it's snug, you know the flare is seated on their well, and when you tighten it, you'll just be mating that flaring surface and making it permanent. So now we'll move on to 1/4 inch and then we'll torque them. Okay, so we got the 1/4 inch cut. I'm gonna make sure to point it down when I deburr so that none of the shavings go into the pipe. It is a little bit tricky to deburr the 1/4 inch because of how small it is. And if you notice this wire poking out right here, that's what they were using as their power wire. I don't want to just cover up and leave it hidden forever, so I'm just going to keep it in here so it's at least protected, just so that it's still there. I don't want to make it disappear. Okay, and if you look at the chart, our liquid line 1/4 inch calls for 10.5 to 12 3/4 pound-feet. Have my head on, and if you take a look at the pound-feet, foot-pound, I'm at the 11.1 and plus this one right here. So that is 12.1 around that, which will be good. So I'll tighten that up with that. And then switch to 29 for the 3/8. Okay, for our condensate drain, just electrical tape this drain hose in. I'm gonna follow through to here. That's what the other one's doing, and just let it drain onto the roof. I hooked up my 3/8 line already. I'm gonna get the 1/4 inch hooked up, and then we can get ready to pressure test and pull a vacuum. Okay, so we got our last connection run, and we have this set for 11.1 plus 1, which makes 12. And get this one torqued. That click means it's torqued. I'll give it a little bit extra, but that means we're torqued to spec. So we shouldn't have any leaks. And I like to butt this up right against the nut. Just think it looks better. And we can hook up our nitrogen and pressure test. Okay, so there's our line covers. I think that looks really, really nice. Nice and straight, nice and neat. Matches the gutters and everything, so I think that looks really good. Especially because you're going to be looking at it from down below. But we'll get some liquid tight to run the communication wire neatly. And we're going to pressure test, do a vacuum and everything like that. Okay, so for our vacuum, we have one hose. Our Schrader is pulled. It's I'm using this instead of the HVAC Tools one because this is a different size. It's not a 1/4 inch, it's 5/16. But I have a micron gauge here because this is what we'll be using for our decay test. But I put a micron gauge here as well to show the difference in the microns that you read the closer that you get to the vacuum. Because in a perfect situation, you would actually want this micron gauge to be on this line, the farthest away. But I'm gonna turn it on. And you'll see already pulling crazy low on the vacuum itself. But I'll open this up. And we climbed up there, going back down there. And we're going down here with our gas ballast open. Now it's open. And you can see this one's much lower at 290, 270, and this is in the thousands. But I'll close off my gas ballast now that we're below 1500 here. And we'll let it run and pull a really deep vacuum. And while we wait for the vacuum, I'm wiring in my communication wire, which I use some liquid type for. And that'll go black, white, red in that order, because if you look at the wiring in the system, that's the color that they wire it as well. And right here, 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 and here, and then this is where the power will go. Okay, so we're at 196.8, 197. It's been vacuuming for a while, but if we want to, we can close off our port and start our decay test. And you can see it jumped up as it is going back down. And we'll just see if it passes decay. I'd like to pull it down a little bit lower, but once we hear the beep beep beep, we know it'll pass the decay test. So it'll pass the decay test, but we'll restart the evacuation. We'll turn it back on and pull another vacuum. Okay, so with our charge now dumped into the lines by opening the Allen wrenches, the ports that are in here, both of them opening up fully, we can now put our Schrader cord back in. So I have the Schrader right here. Get that caught on, and then open this. So now we have a straight path. Push it through and tighten it. We are fighting against the pressure of the refrigerant. And sometimes it's a pain with these 5/16 ones, because they're the Apion. And hope I got that. That's nice and tight. Okay. Crack this. No pressure, that means that the Schrader cord is seated in there properly. We can take this off and get everything put away. Okay, so now it's just a matter of cleaning everything up, and we threw everything down. So we didn't throw the nitrogen down, we dropped it, and Peter made sure it stayed upright. Man, look at these hack job installs. Same with the other one up on the roof. Ours looks so much nicer. Okay, so remote is mounted on the wall with the time set, and here is our unit. And you can see A2L right there. It's a 9000 BTU, and unfortunately we can't run it, but it is what it is. And here is the completed outdoor unit. The pipe doctor sticker and R32. I think it looks nice. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that video. That install went really smoothly. It only took us about 3 hours, and we were taking our time too. Not taking our time, but we weren't rushing. I am currently leaving my last job of the day, which was
the stop sign.
AC
Then at the next one,
that we installed last year is not working. It was a Bosch IDS 2.0. And this is the, I think, 4th time now that this has happened and that I've fixed this year with Stay Bright 8 leaking. I think that Stay Bright 8 just shouldn't be used for refrigerant lines at all now. I don't trust it at all. The first time I was like, okay, I didn't put the pipe right, but I have pulled the connections out and looked at them, and the solder has been completely covering the lines. So it's not like the pipe wasn't prepped properly and the solder didn't take to one of the pipes. It took, and it just didn't seal. So braze that in, brazing from now on, but it just stinks. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching. Like the video if you liked it, comment any advice or criticisms or feedback, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.